Hi guys, once again sitting down outside. I'm really enjoying these days of consistent sunlight. Those of us that live in London or in the UK, you would know that consistent sunlight is not exactly what we're known for. I hope you're all doing well. Said to come and do this video outside. And I will say, this lady I've been waiting for an opportunity to drag the hell out of. I said it yes. For those of you who listened to my video yesterday, you would have heard when I said that I get very, very irritated when I see black or brown people who allow themselves to be used as voices of white supremacy to drag down Duchess Meghan. Now, I want to be very clear here. I'm not an unreasonable person. I'm not saying that Meghan is, or anybody is for everybody. Some people, no matter how nice you are, no matter how kind you are, some people will just not like you. Say fini, there is nothing you can do about it. It's nothing against you as a person. It's nothing against your personality. It's just that they just don't want anything to do with you. And the thing with growing up is you accept that, okay, no matter how nice I am to some people or how unproblematic I am, some people just don't want to be around me, and that's okay. So I guess what I'm trying to say is Sussex, I believe that a lot of us in the Sussex squad are reasonable people. Nobody is asking for you to love Duchess Meghan. But I think you can agree that when the hate campaign against someone is so egregious to the point where you threaten their well-being, you threaten their life, you try and destroy their businesses, it then it goes from a personal opinion to actual harassment, which a lot of the British media and now, unfortunately, a lot of trolls online have realized it's a great way to make engagement. It's a great way to get themselves followers. It's a great way just to be petty. So that's why the counter narrative from people like us, who are as much as possible trying to be fair and balanced, and also quite strong in our response, is very necessary. Nana Aqua, I don't even know where to start from. Is it from the week? Ladies and gentlemen, should we address this week? Nana, you are Ghanaian, I'm Nigerian. We're basically cousins. Can you explain to me why you are coming out looking like this? What is the problem, Nana? I really believe as a black person, what I see in Nana is self-hate. Because she doesn't take care. The fact that she allows that wig to sit on her head like that, it can't be anything more. She hates herself. She doesn't like the black skin she carries. The black skin she wears. And when somebody doesn't like themselves, you see it in how they carry themselves and how they take care of themselves. It's kind of like a flagellation type of thing. You're punishing yourself because you hate how you look on the outside. Nana, you need a therapist. You need to join. Women like you, I'm sure, don't have any black friends. You surround yourselves with people who are of a certain type, because especially people on the right wing, because if you hate yourself, you hate who you are, you will be very appealing to people who don't like you either. They like people like you, actually, because you just confirm what they feel about people they hate. You, women like you, men like you, you're pathetic. Now, we're going to listen to, again, sorry, just before we listen to her nonsense, I really believe that Meghan announcing season 2 has broken the rota, guys. I'm surprised that they've gone this long without saying anything. I've been checking UK, I've been checking Australia. So what I'm thinking is on Monday, they won't really have any choice anymore. So I think obviously they're going to address it. And I'm very keen to see what angle they're going to use. I'm very keen, but don't worry. That's why I'm here. We will drag them as always. Please like, continue to subscribe, continue to share. And yes, let's listen to Nana's nonsense.
For her, Prince Harry has said as much. Why cling on to a title for such a dangerous place? What an insult to the people of Sussex. I think she's a bit confused as well. Like I said, the name is actually Mountbatten Windsor, not Sussex. That's not the surname. The reviewers of the series haven't held back at all. Hollywood trade Bible Variety magazine, once one of the biggest fans of Meghan Markle, suggested that she didn't have the natural savvy or competence of doyens of the cookery and lifestyle TV field, and they mocked her vacuous comments and creations. Time magazine, who in 2021...
I like how whenever they talk about if you recall from Roya's commentary yesterday, she also mentioned the Variety article. but nobody bothered to mention that the person that gave that review has not only has his account been suspended from Twitter, but he has been found to have a weird fixation on Meghan's daughter. Meghan's daughter is three, and he's also racist. But then again, that's the point, isn't it? UK journalism, what I'm exposing right now is the state of so-called UK journalism. Anything that feeds their narrative, they don't sense check, they don't cross check, which is why they keep on getting humiliated on a daily basis because all their misinformation, all their lies, all the rhetoric they keep on building up keeps on being proven to be wrong. When you don't take your time to check, to verify before you report, and when you're too proud to come back and say, oh wait, I got it wrong, so that you can maintain your integrity, it tells you everything you need to know about the outlet sharing that news. So once again, guys, it's not just avoiding these people. You need to learn how to be savvy and look out for the trolls, because in many cases I think they are just looking for rage bait. They're just looking, they don't care if the story is true or not. And to me, what type of journalist does that? What type of journalist reports news that is that hasn't been verified, that hasn't been confirmed to be true?
Named Meghan as one of the most 100 influential women, called her bland, and pointed out that instead of showing us the reality of life as royal, it is focused on their own rigid propaganda machine. Despite all this criticism, With Love Meghan is in the Netflix top 10. On her Instagram, she posted, "If you're loving season 1, just wait until you see the fun we have cooked up on season 2. Thanks for joining the party, and an endless thanks to the amazing team and crew who helped bring it all to life." Oh God, make it stop, there's more.
Oh, that's weak. That's very weak. It actually sounds a bit complimentary to me, actually, even though she's trying to be sarcastic. That's very weak. Is that really the best they can do? But you know what? Again, how do you? I feel like I kind of feel bad for them. If again, I'm speaking on this one segment. I'm sure the more creative and nastier hosts will give us something from either today or tomorrow. But is it really the best they can do? Really? Really? Oh wow. We're getting more of it. Oh wow, Meghan is making even more money. I really think this thing has broken them. But then again, like, if you think about it, like, where do you go from here? You've already spent the past, it came out on Tuesday, this was you've already spent 5 days complaining about it, review bombing it, dragging it, insulting it, and you were hoping that by doing this, Netflix will look at the reviews, panic, and cancel the show, forgetting, like I said, that Netflix and many media companies don't really give a damn about reviews. That's not what they're expecting. That's not what Netflix is not doing a show for. While it would be nice to do a show and get awards recognition does not pay bills. Netflix is a streaming platform and they need money. So hate it or love it, you're watching it. And hate it or love it, you're paying money to watch it. Right? That's all that matters to them. In the grand scheme of things. So I don't know. It's kind of like I'm very disappointed, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I was expecting more heat. But let's see. Let me give her a few more talking points. Ugh.
So, well, being fair, I mean, the critics have literally slammed it. No one's saying that this thing is any good. Where do you stand? Have you watched it?
I have watched it, actually, and although it wasn't my cup of tea, it's not something I would generally like to watch. I do see the appeal for people who do like that kind of lifestyle, the kind of like really kind of Instagrammable cookery shows. So, you know, I do see that there is an audience for it, but I know that not everybody would love it. And it mustn't have done too bad, because actually it made top 6 in the US on Netflix. So, and it's also been released for a second series. So, yeah, I don't think it's done too bad, although the ratings say otherwise. But I think that's because everyone has so much of an interest in Meghan that they all ran to watch it the second it was released. And even though they probably weren't a fan of her, then they still continued to watch it. And of course, if you go into watching this show as not a Meghan fan, you're only going to come out of it as not liking the show. There's no way you're going to go, actually, I do like her now after watching a show when you've spent.
Exactly, she's right. If you came into it with bad intentions, like a lot of the people with these platforms have done, where even if it had been like groundbreaking content, you would still hate it. So, but the most important thing, like I just said, is you watched, right? So,
Years not liking her.
Well, no, that's not necessarily true. If I went in really liking her and then started watching her and then ended up not liking her at all, so it can flip either way. And I'm just wondering, though, do you think, because she's got a second series, do you think, in your view, that it is something that will have legs and have a third and a fourth, or do you think that the second series will pretty much be the end, like a lot of her things, like the...
Oh, I see. Right. So that's the angle now. They've moved the goalpost. So it wasn't just really get renewed. Now they're moving the goalpost to, oh, wow, okay. Well, 2 seasons in, they most likely gave her, I'm guessing the talking point is going to be because of how popular they thought she was, they gave her 2 seasons right off the bat. But then I'm sure now they're regretting it, etc., etc., etc. You know, all I can think about is it must be miserable living like this. It must be absolutely miserable, just always looking for a problem. It's a sad existence, frankly.
archetypes stuff?
To be honest, I'm not sure. I hope for Meghan it does. Just because I know her lifestyle brand, The Tig, had millions of followers before she closed that down. So it is definitely her thing and it's what she's good at. So it would be great if it gets another series. Like I said, it's not something that I personally like and I personally watch, but I can see that Meghan fans absolutely love it. And she's gone back to her roots now with something that she's more comfortable with. So it's really good to see her in this.
Keep the title, but she said it's going to be, she wants to have a family name. The family name is Mountbatten Windsor. I don't know whether she...
Sorry, guys,
So it's really good to see her in the zone where she's comfortable, and yeah, hopefully the second series does well.
What about the title, though? The fact that she's keeping the title, but she said it's going to be, she wants to have a family name. The family name is Mountbatten Windsor. I don't know whether she's confused about how that all works out, but she's saying that Sussex is the family name and all that, but she hates the UK. She's made it quite clear, there's no secret there, as does Harry, so it would appear. She doesn't want to set foot in this country at all. Do you not think it's a bit of an insult to people?
Oh my goodness. Guys, this is exhausting. This is truly, truly exhausting. Like, you cannot keep on having this conversation over and over again. She brought a reporter. The reporter is trying to be as balanced as she can be, and she doesn't like that. She wants her to just go off into straight up childish, babyish trolling with no with no nuance, no context. And now she's pushed it to the name. Now she's apparently reached from wherever she is staying all the way to Mars to say that Meghan hates the UK. Meghan does not hate the UK. I'm very sure Harry doesn't hate the UK. But because of all the hate, people like you, Nana, keep on throwing her way. Meghan is scared in the UK, and rightfully so. Because let me give you an example. I'm doing a deep dive into Andy Signor, one of Meghan's worst haters. And did you know in 2023, after the South Park, because South Park aired an episode mocking the Markles, mocking Harry and Meghan, and of course the British press loved it. This South Park has also done an episode mocking the royal wedding, which I'm sure they did not report on, but they loved the South Park mocking Harry and Meghan and used it as a talking point to say Harry and Meghan are not popular in the US, because that is their hope, that is their dream, that anywhere this couple goes, they will be hated, so that they will fail, because that's what they want them to do, fail. Anyway, as a consequence of that, there's a man called Andy Signor, a criminal in my mind and a pervert. He lost his job because of the fact that he was harassing, because of sexual misconduct and sexual harassment. Found a way to come back online through Meghan Hate SEO, and he has been using it since 2019, I think. Anyway, after that South Park episode aired, do you know that Andy, on Meghan's birthday, did a live stream encouraging his followers, people who also blindly hate Meghan, to go to he said he was going to rent a bus from LA, get them to Montecito with megaphones, and get them to start screaming, "We want privacy." That's insane. And not only is that insane, that is harassment and that's criminal. Luckily for everyone, again, the Sussex squad was active in 2023 on Twitter, and they made such a stink about it. One of them, Christian Boosie, I don't know if you guys have heard of him. He used to run Bot Sentinel. I think he still runs it, but he's now on Blue Sky. He's no longer on Twitter. I think the US elections was the final straw for him. Anyway, Chris Boosie noted that, look, the Sussexes, I understand that you're not responding to these people, but you really, really, really need to keep an eye on this guy. This guy is a criminal. It was the backlash was swift and so bad that Andy Signor had to come out and say, actually, no, he was a joke. And I'm like, what type of joke is that? That's harassment, and it could get violent. Maybe not necessarily against Harry and Meghan, but people who live in Montecito. So it's kind of like, it was just like, again, part of the reason why we do these things is to protect people, ensure that things don't get out of hand, right? To ensure people like Andy do not get put in a situation, people like Andy do not push followers or trigger somebody who will wake up in the morning and decide, I really need to kill Meghan. I really need to kill Harry. According to what Harry said in his ITV documentary, it takes one lone actor. He doesn't even need a group. All he needs to do is to keep on feeding himself with anti-Meghan hate, or herself with anti-Meghan hate, and decide that the only way to deal with this situation is to kill her. All because what? Money? Engagement? You're actually creating a situation where you are weaponizing people to harm someone. Because that's truly what they want. They want her to die. And it reminds me again of why we need to keep doing this, why we need to keep the engagement going, keep the algorithm going, so that we can start counteracting all this nonsense. How did she get from Meghan wants to be recognized by her married name, the name that was given to her as part of a member of the royal family by the Queen? How did she get from there to Meghan hates UK, please?
Of the country that she wants to keep the title, and of course a place name, Sussex, which is in the UK. She's probably never set foot in it.
Do you know what? I was kind of surprised myself when I saw her wanting to use the term Sussex, but I did a bit of research afterwards, and although it's unconventional for royals to do that, it's not uncommon. Harry and William both used the name Wales, so it was Harry Wales in the military and in school. It's the same with William's children. When they go to school, it's Charlotte Wales. Also, if you look at Sophie, Duchess of Edinburgh, she's often referred to as Sophie Wessex, even though that is not her surname. It is the former title of her husband, the Earl of Wessex. So this does happen within the royal family. It's not uncommon. It won't be her legal name, I'd imagine. It'll still be Martha on her passport. Who knows?
Yeah, but the point is that she hates this country, and she...
Do you see the point that this woman is, while this psychopath is going off on a tangent and trying to create a story out of fresh air, this lady, a more centered, maybe a more contextualized journalist, is like, yes, I understand that there is some surprise, but again, she's trying to give it nuance. So when you compare somebody who is a crazy person to somebody who is looking at things logically. You see how crazy the crazy person is. She's still insisting on sticking on that ridiculous talking point about hating UK. No, Meghan is scared to be in the UK, as is her husband, because of her safety, because of the hate people like you propagate, Nana.
I mean, I don't think I'm saying anything out of turn here. She doesn't want to come here. She stayed in the airport that time when she was meeting with Harry, and then she did not set foot properly on UK soil. You could say Heathrow is, but that's not going anywhere or going to meet him or anything. And Harry has even said as much that he doesn't want her to come here because he's worried about her safety, even though they went to Colombia and Nigeria, which are considered quite, tough countries if you need a big security.
I want to be clear that Nana, once again, is a Ghanaian. So it's very disappointing to hear a Ghanaian woman say this nonsense about Nigeria. But then again, I guess when you finish drinking the right wing pure water, your brain no longer works. And she's literally just answered the question answered her own question here. Harry is not comfortable bringing Meghan here because he is scared for her safety. So I don't know how she went from I am scared of my wife's safety to she hates the UK.
Cavalcade to go there. So just seems a bit odd that if they hate this place so much, why you would want to keep this Sussex brand and title. Well, it's a place in the UK.
Yeah, sure. And I have a theory that they're leaning into the Sussex title now. Now, I don't know for sure. This is just a theory. But maybe because of the feud with the royal family, I feel like they're trying to distance themselves from the Windsor name because that's the name of his family. But he still wants to hold on to his roots, which would be the Sussex title that Queen Elizabeth gave him. And it's also the title that their children have. So as a family unit, I'd imagine this is why they want to use that title.
I love the mental gymnastics you did to try and explain that one. That was great. I suspect the reason they did it is because there's money in that title, and if they lost all connection with the royal family, they wouldn't be able to monetize their connection anymore. And I suspect that is why they really want to do it, and they proved that in the documentaries and things that they've sold on the back of it, books and everything, all on the back of the titles. So do you think this is now a path that Meghan will take now, and this is going to be a successful thing, and that her brand?
It's interesting that she's accusing somebody of mental gymnastics when she literally just did 2 million backflips to justify this stupid talking point she insists on staying on. Nana, you're not well.
Will improve considering the sort of feedback that Variety magazine and all the magazines have given her.
Listen, whether you like it or not, no matter how you feel about it personally, it's still their title and it is still their name, and they are entitled to use it if they want to. Like, facts, your feelings don't change the facts. Like, they have been given that title by Queen Elizabeth. It has not been stripped from them after the royal family.
No, an act of parliament could remove that. So, that you're not, you get a royal entitlement until you...
That's what I'm saying. I'm liking this interplay. A logical person and a psycho. So you can see how this person is saying that, I think you're sticking to this, you're taking this way too personally. It's a family name. They are free to do whatever the hell they want with it. If they want to call all their kids Sussexes, it has nothing to do with you. It's none of your business. They are not. It doesn't concern you, Nana. And she keeps on making herself sound even more crazy and more insane the more she tries to defend it. Nana, you sound insane.
Do something where you no longer become entitled. It can be a birthright initially, but that can be changed, and that can be changed by the government of this country. Yeah. So you're not entitled.
It could be, but it hasn't.
Not yet. No. Not yet.
Yes, yeah. Well, maybe we'll have this debate again if it does, but they still are entitled to that title. They have it. They've been given it by Queen Elizabeth. She'd be rolling in her grave right now if she heard this conversation, because she gave it to them. She wanted them to have it.
Well, I don't think so. She'd be rolling in her grave, but I don't think it's because they have the titles. It'll probably because she told them that you can't have one foot in and one foot out of the monarchy. Either you're in or you're out, not halfway in between. And she told them specifically not to use the titles or to take advantage of the royal family in that way.
Nana, did you have a personal conversation with the Queen before she passed? That's what I'm saying. When you bring a logical person and put it against these people, they are insane. Nana, were you talking to the Queen before she died? Because see how she's arguing and sticking to that point. Nana is not a member of the royal family. She doesn't know anything about the ins and outs of the royal family. It's baffling to me how people are talking like they are members of the royal family. What is wrong with you?
And they have, in my view. Right, thank you very much. Really good to talk to you. Thank you very much for joining us. Now, there's always something going on in the royal household, and this week has been no different. And every Saturday, I love to give you a rundown. And who better to do so than royal biographer Angela Levin? She joins me now.
She's bringing
Angela, welcome.
I didn't get a chance to introduce her. I didn't realize I was going to bring Levin here. Wow. I feel like, again, another future MVP of this channel. Levin is crazy, but her own crazy is not like Kinsey, you need medical treatment crazy. Her own crazy is, I genuinely think this woman is on some sort of, guys, I don't want to use dementia. I just think this woman is a bald-faced liar. She's a bald-faced liar. And it's interesting how Camilla has chosen her to write her biography, if that's even true. I'm not even sure, because she keeps on saying Camilla's biographer. That might be a fantasy that she built in her head as well. Maybe Camilla smiled at her once and said, and she offered to write her biography, and Camilla said, yeah, sure. And she's taking it since that day that she's Camilla's biographer. Guys, you know these people better than me. Maybe she's actually written a book. But yeah, Camilla Levin is a pathological liar. I'm curious to see what she has to say.
Let's talk about Meghan Markle's cooking and lifestyle show. Welcome, so good to see you.
Nice to see you too. It's very, very complicated. I think it's extraordinary that someone should have this arrangement of all these cookery things, and then a number two friend comes in and you give her a whacking telling off because she still calls her Meghan Markle. Instead, she said that her name is no longer that. She's got a proper name that she's had for a long time, Sussex, and she should have talked to her like that. I mean, it sort of knocks you for six, because...
I told you she's a pathological liar. If we hadn't watched the show ourselves, we would actually believe this nonsense. Pathological lying right from the bat. And it's interesting how Nana just got humiliated with a logical reporter and has decided that she's going to continue, because nothing else happened in the royal family this week, guys. There's nothing else that happened in the royal family, despite her just arguing with us and that reporter that, well, Meghan and Harry hate the UK. It's interesting how they're very happy to cling to it for news, though.
She's trying to be nice and invent people to enjoy themselves, and she whacks them. The general feeling is that she's doing that to say to the royal family that you try and take away my titles and you'll be in trouble. Because otherwise, what on earth could she be doing? She made countless mistakes. Things she organised to put in the bath, actually, I won't say what it was made of, but it was actually dangerous. And because she didn't measure it properly, it could burn your body, right?
I don't know if I can sit through all of Angela's lies and tirades, but I just wanted to give you guys a taste. For those of you who've never heard of Angie before, I just wanted to give you a taste of Angela Levin at her rawest form. Nasty. I wouldn't even call her nasty. She was just a pathological liar. That woman couldn't tell the truth if you hit her in the face. But yeah, I'm not going to go any further. I'll find something more interesting with Angela, but this talking point is now very boring. So guys, once again, I hope you've got your first taste of Nana Akua. I'm glad that I got to react to her going off against a more centered, nuanced, proper reporter, because it very clearly calls out her insanity. And yeah, I don't even know, I'm kind of embarrassed. As a Nigerian, Nigerians are very, very successful. So it's very embarrassing to see a fellow West African embarrass herself like this. I'm embarrassed for you, Nana. But yeah, guys, please like, subscribe, give me your thoughts, drag Nana, please feel free, because Nana is not well, and please share with Nana. I will. And yeah, have a good one. Take care.